Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Welcome one more time to the one and the only. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live right here on Podbean, of course, the home of the Big Time Show podcast, as well as Spotlight Sports Network page, as well as the Sports Empire Network page, the third home of the podcast, and to those that may be watching by Twitch, those that may be watching by Twitter, and everywhere else that you're looking at from YouTube channels. My YouTube channel, as you can see, that is popping across the screen there in the ticker. The Big Time Show page, as well as the Spotlight Sports Network page. Welcome everybody to the show. I'm quite sure some of you have your TVs on to the Buffalo Tennessee game. I could care less about that. I'm just letting y'all know real quick. The Monday Night Football game does not matter to me unless the Dallas Cowboys are playing it. I could care less about Buffalo, the Tennessee Titans. I could care less about the other teams that are playing tonight. I could care less. The only thing that matters to me is on the Dallas Cowboys. Let me see. I'm gonna come to the comments in just a few seconds. I see some coming in on my personal page. But what's going on, everybody? How y'all feel? Yeah, buddy. How y'all feel? First of all, I thought that, I thought something was wrong with my phone, man. I know when the Cowboys lost and looked bad against Tampa, man, my phone was just, woo-wee. And my phone was blowing up. I couldn't even watch the game. I had so many notifications. I had text messages, Facebook Messenger. Everybody seemed like they want to come at me. I get it, I'm an objective Cowboy fan. I ain't one of these crazy Cowboy fans talking about we going to the Super Bowl. I don't say all that. It's just that I guess because I have a small little platform here, I think everybody want to take a shot at me. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Since I'm the rabid Cowboy fan, I get it. And everybody love to mess with the Cowboys. I understand. But what was strange about the situation is, ladies and gentlemen, was that yesterday I didn't get nothing. Why is that? I didn't get anything. I didn't get nothing. I thought something was wrong with my phone. I didn't get one text message. I didn't get one call. I didn't get one notification. I didn't get anything. I thought seriously for a few hours, because there's not at least 20 minutes where something ain't going on with my phone. Not, at least every day, whether Cowboys playing or not. I really thought that I ain't paid my bill. I thought that. I thought I ain't paid my bill. I didn't know what was going on. Anybody know why? Anybody know why my phone was down? Maybe some of y'all phones didn't have. Y'all didn't have no problem yesterday, did you? Y'all didn't have no problem yesterday, did you? Y'all didn't have it. What's going on? Let me speak to some people. Marcus Dover in the building. Mike Stewart, Old Kirby High School. Michael Rogers, what's up, man? He said, what's up, his first check-in of the season. Congrats on the view. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, man. Fred, good, go George. Good game. That's 49er fan. Okay. Appreciate it. Leah just tweeted. That's how it always is. But we win, everybody on hush. You got that right. I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't see I couldn't hear nobody. I feel like I was preaching. You know what the preacher say? I can't hear nobody. I can't hear nothing. I can't hear nobody. Yeah. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to plug this phone up real quick. Y'all give me a second. Hey, Joe, what's up? What's up, Karam? I see you. Karam said that game almost killed me. The second half was weird. I'm about to get into that in just a second. Y'all give me a shot. Then we'll recap the game, and then we'll move on to the Giants. Let's go ahead and talk about it. And y'all know how I have to start this off. Let me go ahead and start this off with giving credit where credit is due. And I told y'all that I'm objective. If you do right, I give you credit. If you do wrong, I give you pure praise. Kellen Moore deserves credit today. Not complete credit, and I'll give you that in a second. But he deserves credit on today because he did exactly what I said he should do, at least at the beginning of the game. He did that. He ran the ball. Bottom line, he did it. He called an excellent first half where the guys dominated the line of scrimmage. He let his offensive line go forward instead of backwards, and they lit into Cincinnati. They punished those guys. They imposed their will on the guys. They were physical. That's all we've been asking for. Make the commitment to run the ball. In the first half of the game, he made the commitment, and what it did, it set a tone. It set a tone. It set a complete tone for the rest of the game. The Cincinnati Bengals could not stop us. And because of that, it was time possession. It was a grind-out game. And our defense, of course, took care of the rest because they was on fire. This was the blueprint of the way that the Dallas Cowboys need to win football games. We said this. You've been following my show. You already know this is what we've been asking for. So we cannot move any further until we give Kellen Moore credit on today. Now, y'all know I've been hard going at him and still will, because I'm finna flip the script in just a second and do what he always does. He still didn't do what he was supposed to do because I'm looking at Cooper Rush stats, and most of y'all already know this stuff. He was 19 of 31, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, and a quarterback rating of 95.5. That's excellent. You only get 100. He's 95.5. Can't blame Cooper Rush, at all. But he threw the ball 31 times. Here's where I have a problem with Kellen Moore. Because Ezekiel Elliott had 15 carries for 53 yards. Tony Pollard had 9 carries for 43 yards. That's 26 carries. CeeDee Lamb had 1 carry for 6 yards. That's 27 carries. Turpin had 1 carry for 3 yards. That's 25. It's 26 for 7, 28. 28 carries. And then Cooper Rush ran 1 yard for 2 yards. You probably just getting out the way. I don't even count that carry. So essentially they ran it 28 times. That's pretty good. But here's the thing that it's just first of all, let's get this out of the way. Can Ezekiel, I kept telling y'all, Ezekiel Elliott ain't gonna never get the ball 20 times a game. That's first thing. The reason why, Karam, I'm gonna come at you on your comment. You said he did fine. He did in the first half. He did. Ezekiel Elliott had 15 carries for 53 yards for the game. He had 12 carries for 46 yards in the first half. Wait a minute. See, this is where my problem is. He can't help it, y'all. I told y'all. See, we won the game. I mean, hey, defense was lit. No doubt about that. But Ezekiel Elliott had 12 carries at halftime. He only finished the game with 15. So what that means is, obviously, you only got 3 carries in the second half. Fortunately, this week, the defense had such an outstanding job and had an outstanding game that they didn't beat us. I mean, they came back and tied the game up. But you ran 12 times with Ezekiel Elliott in the first half. You only gave him the ball 3 times in the second. Come on, y'all. Help me here. Help me here. I know we won, and I know we excited. But once again, Kellen Moore cannot help himself. He has an infatuation with throwing the football. Cooper Rush threw the ball 31 times yesterday. I'm going to say it one more time. Ezekiel Elliott at halftime had 12 carries. He only had 15 carries for the entire game. We weren't behind. We were winning when we got a halftime. You gonna sit there and tell me that Ezekiel Elliott, the one that everybody say we gonna run the offense through, he only got the ball 3 times in the second half? I mean, I know somebody say, oh my God, don't complain. We won. Yeah, we won, but what it does is don't get too hyped. Don't get too hyped. Tony Pollard had 9 carries for 43 yards. One of those was the big one that he had that he almost scored on. So that was almost about 40 some odd yards by itself. So his other 8 carries, obviously, he really didn't do anything. But overall, at least when the last time that Kellen Moore, I'm trying to give him some type of credit, but at the same time, I'm not blind. When is the last time that we had 28 carries in a game? Cooper Rush has one other carry. They would have made it 29, but we don't count here because he probably was scrambling. I believe it was that time he ran out of bounds. I don't even count his. So we got really 28 carries. That's big for Kellen Moore because he don't do it. So I want to give him credit at least for the commitment to run. He set the tone with his play calling. He did do that. I give him credit for that. He let those guys go to work. But in the second half, he turned right back into the Kellen Moore that I cannot stand. I'm going to say it one more time, then I'm going to move. Ezekiel Elliott had 12 carries at halftime. He only finished with 15 for the whole game, which means he only got the ball in the second half 3 times. Kellen Moore can't help it, y'all. He just can't. And it's so obvious what need to happen, but he can't help himself. He got to throw the ball. It's over. Ezekiel Elliott, you would look and think of the game. See, we ain't seen Ezekiel Elliott carry the ball this much. We feel like he ran the ball 30 times. He ran 15. That's it. Just 15 times. He could have got at least about 6 more carries. I'd have been good. I'm still waiting for him to get 20 carries in the game. This would have been an ideal game for it. Still didn't get there. Now, let me get off Kellen because I don't want to dampen y'all's spirits because we won. Cooper Rush deserves much credit. Much credit. Cooper Rush deserves much credit. He was efficient with the football. Some would argue and say that he probably should have about at least minimum 2 interceptions that I remember in the game. They didn't make the play, so we can't even count that. He looked good in the first half, and then what happened was at halftime, Cincinnati made the adjustments and pretty much shut the offense down. They ain't scored nothing until we won the game on the field goal last second. So they shut them down in the second half. Now whatever Cincinnati did in the second half, That will be the game plan that the Giants will have starting off the game, week 1. I mean, in the first quarter. The game plan that Cincinnati had in the second half will shut us down. Will be the game plan that the Giants will have at the beginning of the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments that they come up with, because the way I look at it is Cincinnati didn't know how Cooper Rush was going to be playing. And so they had to get used to him. See what I'm saying? And once they got used to him, they went ahead and made the adjustments. It looked like to me, and I haven't seen the tape yet, what it looked like to me is that they just went in and just ran an easy cover 2 or a slight cover 3. If this going to sound strange to some of y'all, unless you really understand defenses, I look like they ran a cover 3 sometime with cover 2 principles. I hope y'all get that. I haven't seen the tape yet, but that's what I was saying just based off the TV coverage. I think that's what they did. Where they shade a linebacker because they were throwing short all the time. They rarely blitz. What they were doing was trying to make Cooper throw in the tight windows. And when you drop, linebackers in the flats, which is what we love to do, kind of throw the little short slants and all that kind of stuff, when you make them throw it over your head, you still had sometimes like 2 safeties over the top. That's what it looked like to me. And they weren't going to let nobody get behind them, so they kept everything jammed up in front and made Cooper Rush throw in the tight windows, or he had to be kind of exact. And for the most part, he did that. So Cooper Rush deserves credit. He was steady. He didn't have to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. All he had to do was just not make mistakes. He didn't have an interception. He didn't fumble the ball. Therefore, we don't do almost over here. Yeah, he had some almost interceptions, but we don't count it on almost. You either make the play or you don't. So based off that, he made the plays. But just the bottom line, he didn't turn the football over. He was efficient. He had a 95.5 rating. Shout out to Cooper Rush. Great game. He didn't make the mistakes. That's big. And he won. Bottom line, he won. The last minute of the drive where he had to drive the team down to get in field goal range, he did his job. He did it. He drove down, put him in field goal range close enough to where it was in range for our field goal kicker, Brett Mayer, and he did it. So Cooper Rush deserves the credit today. He does. He had an outstanding game. I'll tip my hat to him. Now, the best part of the offense, which was to me, well, let me go back to Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush and Noah Brown have an outstanding chemistry. And the reason why they have that is because Cooper Rush and Noah Brown came into the league together. They've been Cowboys all this time. And that is primarily who Cooper Rush throws to as a backup quarterback. He throws to people like Noah Brown. And Lord, did it do dividends, because Noah Brown had 5 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown. I think it's time, y'all, that we go ahead and start putting a little bit more respect on Noah Brown's name, because Noah Brown, from game 1 to game 2, Noah Brown has been very impressive. Very impressive. Extremely impressive. He leads the team in yardage, leads the team in receptions, and he seems to catch everything. And he seems to be open. And he gets behind people. And of course, he's still that great blocker that he is, but he's catching the football. And now he's playing with the quarterback probably who has thrown to him the most, at least for these next few weeks. So I think that connection is going to be constant, because they know each other. They play together. So he benefits him to play that. Dalton Schultz, he was all right, and then he fumbled the ball. You know, you want to be the man, you can't fumble the ball, son. That was a big turnover. That was changed the game around. We were just about to go ahead and step on their throats. And then Schultz turned the game around when he fumbled the ball. It was horrible. That's that he want to be the man, you got to hold on to football. But that wasn't the best part. Now, this is the best part. The best part about the game was the offensive line. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know, and for those that watch game film, please, when you get it, you may have yours. When you get it, please go watch Farraknock, the guy who played guard beside Tyler Smith. Let me tell y'all something. That dude right there. I don't want him to come out the lineup. I've been saying it since preseason. Between him and Colin, who's not with us, but Farraknock moves people. I wish y'all could see that. If y'all were watching, I know y'all watching Zeke and Pollard, make the moves and hold. Man, y'all need to watch Farraknock. Farraknock is knocking people around constantly. I love it. Tyler Smith, great game again. Great game again. Zach Martin, mauling people. The offensive line looked incredibly good. They controlled the game. They controlled the game offensively. Cincinnati couldn't do nothing about it. Nothing. Time of possession. The first really belonged to us. We looked real good till Kellen Moore in the second half got pass happen, like he always does. And that's the reason why they won. If he was ran the ball, Cincinnati couldn't stop us. He couldn't stop us. I was very impressed with the offensive line. Very impressed, especially Farraknock. Y'all get a chance. Y'all go watch him. Watch how he mauls people around. Watch how he knocked people back 2-3 yards. Y'all go watch. I mean, I'm serious. If you watch film or whatever, please go watch him and just sit there and watch. Hey, Coach Breedlove, I see you. Coach Breedlove said, yes, I thought Kellen was going to get a game away. Yeah, passing. He can't help it. I rest my case. What he should do, he don't do. He just got to turn it back into himself. But for the most part, he did outstanding. As far as this offensive line was outstanding. Cooper Rush didn't get hit. What's up, Greg? Gregor Davis, what's going on? He did outstanding. I really believe that the offensive line was really outstanding for pretty much for the most part. No doubt about that. I applaud them on today. Now, that's offensively. Defensively, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's what we had said here. If you've been following this show, we pretty much called it. If you give this defense some rest, in other words, you don't have a whole bunch of 3 and outs. You don't have, you give the defense a chance to rest, they will be dominant. They will be dominant. So you can't have a dominant defense and they spend 40 minutes on the field because your offense can't do nothing. That's the difference between this week and last week. The offense helped out. Even with just time possession, you gave those guys a chance to breathe, get some water. It wasn't no 2-minute 3 and outs yesterday. The defense had a chance to rest, and because they rested, they were fresh. That's the reason why you saw all that pressure on the quarterback. Joe Burrow got hit like he was a pinball machine yesterday. Just nonstop. He couldn't even breathe. There was somebody there coming. I mean, it was just nonstop. I mean, rotation, Armstrong, Fowler, D-Law, of course, Parsons. I mean, they were coming. They were coming. Mike said, what about that 20-play drive by Cincinnati? We helped them out on that drive with the penalties. They could have been off the field a while back. We helped them out with penalties. We helped them out on that. That's all I can say about that one, Mike. We helped them out on that. But overall, for the majority, and a whole lot of the majority, this defense was lighting people up. This defense was lighting people up, as expected. Michael Parsons, unstoppable. Unstoppable. If you go one-on-one with him, you're going to pay the price. I'm convinced of that now. You go one-on-one with Michael Parsons, let's just go ahead and get this out. Whether you're a Cowboy fan or not, you're smart enough if you watch football. If you go one-on-one with Michael Parsons, you're going to pay the price. Your quarterback is going to pay the price. It's no question now. Just in case y'all don't know us, y'all seen the stat that nobody has gotten quicker to 15 or whatever how many sacks he got for his career. Nobody has gotten that amount of sacks in 2 years quicker than Michael Parsons. Nobody. Lawrence Taylor, Eric Thomas, Bruce Smith, Reggie White, whoever you want to name, all the great. Nobody has gotten that amount of sacks in this this amount of time in his career. Nobody. So this dude is on pace. Now, here's the thing that Dan Quinn is gonna have to be careful of. And so far he has not done it. You got to keep Michael Parsons on the edge. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where the entertainment for him lining up as a linebacker now should even come to play. You got Anthony Barr back there. Leighton Vander Esch has not gotten hurt yet. So Leighton Vander Esch is not hurt. And Anthony Barr is back there putting Michael Parsons on the edge. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. If those guys are healthy, and we ain't even talking about Cox yet, whoever can guard, whoever can defend the pass on nickel formations, keep Michael Parsons on the edge. Because if you put him on the edge, he is going to get there. It's no question about it. As long as he is on the edge, he is going to get there. And there ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Nothing. He too fast. No lineman can stay with him one-on-one, especially with that speed. And now he got a little move where he jab step, a little basketball in there. He jab step to the outside and then cut back in. And it's just so fast. You know what I'm saying? It's so fast that he can't do anything. Those guys played the defense. Dorrance Armstrong. Oh my goodness. Just not. Yeah, he got in there for his too. I mean, come on. D-Law, even though he didn't get the sack, you got to give credit to D-Law. Now y'all know I go after D-Law too. D-Law was a guy that got a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow. A lot of pressure. The pocket got collapsed. Every time you saw D-Law get there, he just couldn't finish the play. But because of his chaos that he was causing, somebody else got loose. That's how good he was yesterday. He was good yesterday. So Michael Parsons, good Lord, we ain't got to talk about him. We know he's incredible. He probably is, he's going to be one of the candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. And as long as they keep him on that edge, I ain't going to speak it, but I'm just saying, as long as they keep him on the edge, he might have be challenging Strahan's record for most sacks in the season. I believe it's 22 and a half, if I'm not mistaken. He averaging 2 sacks a game so far, and as long as he's on the edge, he'll get there. He'll He gonna get at least 1 sack a game as long as he play on the edge. It's just he's just that much of a game record. He is a destroyer of offensive game plan. He cannot be stopped. Only thing gonna stop him is an injury. That's it. That's it. That's it. Now I gave the defensive line credit. I gave the linebackers credit. Van Der Esch played good yesterday. And the bar played good yesterday. Solid performance. Secondary. The only person that really had a game worth talking about to me was Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson it seemed like he was in on every play. Matter of fact, let me look. There, I'm looking at his stats. Donovan Wilson had 8 tackles, 2 assists. Van Der Esch had 7 tackles, 3 assists, 1 sack. Anthony Barr had 6 tackles, 2 interceptions. 2 assists. So Donovan Wilson was just everywhere, if you ask me. Every time his hat was everywhere. There's no surprise to us because Donovan Wilson has always played that way. So there's really, we won't curse in the game, but there's not a drop-off when Donovan Wilson plays in the spot that Kirk plays. Donovan Wilson's a good safety, as long as he's healthy. So he had a good game. Diggs and Anthony Brown gave up some plays, but they didn't give up the big play. You're not going to stop with Jamar Chase. He's different. See what I'm saying? But he only had, let me look at, let me see here. Diggs had, Chase had 5 catches for 54 yards. That's great for a guy like him. But this guy used to get at least 80 yards plus a game. And to hold him to 5 catches on the 54 yards when Burrow want to go to him. And the Cowboys did a great job. Now, T. Higgins had 6 catches for 71 yards and 1 touchdown. And a lot of stuff that Chase was getting on them inside slants from the slot. So, what can you do? Diggs made a tremendous play on that 4th down play where he made the tackle, and that was just outstanding. I just remember one play he almost got a pick. He jumped the route. Dude caught the ball, but he was right there. They run a cover 2 at the time. He stepped right in front of it, but he was just a half second too late. And the gentleman caught the ball. I believe it was Higgins that caught the ball. But for the most part, they shut down Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a team that's not used to scoring only 17 points a game. If you hold Cincinnati down to 17 points a game with all the weapons they have, you've done a great job on defense. No doubt about that. You've done a great job. So basically what I'm saying is it was a team win. Brett Maher, of course, did the job at the end, but closed the game out. Pressure kick, and he made the play. Coach Breedlove said he thought that the cornerbacks played poor yesterday. They could have been better. But when you look at what they got, Burrow had 24 of 36 for 199 yards. I mean, you held Burrow under 200 yards. That's outstanding. It's outstanding. Joe said it looked like we found our kicker. We did. He ain't going nowhere as of now. So we are really looking pretty good. Yesterday as a team, it was a total team win. Complementary football at its best. Run the ball, play defense. Timely passes, play defense. No mistakes, no turnovers. That's how you win and play football. Here's the major thing though. is what I said on Saturday. I really believe because of Dak's injury, it did what I thought. I had to see it first, but what it did was finally force Kellen Moore to do something that needed to be done. That was make a true commitment to running the football. They was in 12 personnel a whole lot. That's what we've been asking for. 2 tight end set, 1 running back. That's what they ran a whole lot. I even saw the 13 personnel, 3 tight ends. I saw it. So they made the commitment to running. That's all we've been asking for. If we ain't worried about somebody getting 100 yards and all that kind of stuff. All we wanted to do was see the commitment to running, and I believe that was going to make us, give us the best chance to win. And during this time, we ain't going to score a lot of points. We're not going to score a lot of points. We're not explosive like that. We don't have the weaponry to hit you quick. Our offense has to be a grinded out type, long drive type offense. We don't have the explosiveness. Not like last year. We do not. So we have to grind it out. We got to run the ball, little small play action pass, maybe to the flat or whatever. It ain't got to be downfield. Our long drive. Our drive need to be 9+ plays plus. That's where we are for right now. And the best way to do this is run the ball and play defense. They did it yesterday. So I give them credit. On yesterday. I can't help it. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what they say. I see a lot of people now starting. It's amazing how the Cowboys win and beat a team. Then all of a sudden that team sorry. No sir, no ma'am. Not gonna let y'all do that to the Cowboys. The Cowboys beat the defending AFC champions. That's a Super Bowl team we beat yesterday. Huh? Question, Coach Breland said, question in high school predominantly, you take away the inside to avoid giving up the easy slant. Why does most NFL defenses do the opposite? Well, that's where they start. That's Coach Breland. That's where, if you notice, this is the time where Tony Romo actually hurt us. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but if anybody watched the game, if you watched the game yesterday, you heard Tony Romo say this. I hope you pay attention to it. Tony Romo was saying that when Micah Parsons get off the edge, they say they know he's not dropping back. So they'll go ahead and bring, he's rushing in. So the place where he left, they just ran a slant right there every time in their second half. And it worked. And then Romo pulled that out, and I was like, oh, man, come on, Tony. You giving the Giants the right thing to do. And, of course, we're going to be able to adjust it. All you got to do is run 2 linebackers, one to each side. And if the linebackers just stay right there in that spot, the receiver going to come right to you. You can jump that or either lay a lick on somebody. I mean, that's the way you're going to do that. But Tony Romo pointed that out, and you can see it. It was just the truth. So, Coach, I don't know if I'm answering your question, Coach Breedlove, but they believe in their pass rush, Coach. That's the only thing I can think of. But I think we're going to see a lot of that. Wherever Michael Parsons lines up, they're going to have maybe a receiver on that side, whatever side he on, and they know he coming. So the quick slant going to be there. I think that's going to happen. Exactly, Mike Evans says it's the new narrative. As soon as the Cowboys win, the team's sorry. No. Cincinnati has Joe Burrow. They got Chase. They got Higgins. Decent tight end. They got Joe Mixon. No, we just shut them down. That's all that happened. We shut them down. Burrow was running for his life the whole game. The whole game. He's running for his life. That's just good defense. We shut him down. Cincinnati not sorry. Cincinnati got a good football team. Real good football team. They just ran into, can I say this? Oh, my God. I can say it. It's rare when I can. but they ran into some bullies yesterday. They did. The Dallas Cowboys yesterday played bully ball. They did. And they looked good at it. Yesterday. They played bully ball and pushed people around, moved people against their will, ran whatever they run to run, even though they were running against a stacked box. They didn't care. They stayed committed to the run, and they pushed people around yesterday. That's just bottom line. The defensive line of ours made the offensive line of Cincinnati look horrible yesterday. Joe Burrow got hit all game long. They played bully ball. They played bully ball yesterday. All the way around. It's rare when we can say that. The finesse offensive coordinator, at least for momentarily, played physical football yesterday. I was shocked. Because I know it's not in him. Now, he turned back into finesse in the second half. He stopped running the ball like he was doing. I'm going to say it one more time. Zeke Elliott had 12 carries at halftime. He only finished with 15. What happened? We was up coming out of halftime. They were kicking field goals at first, and chopping the lead down till they finally got to that one score and then got the 2-point conversion. That was in the fourth quarter. What happened to the run game? If Ezekiel Elliott had 12 carries at halftime, why he only get the ball 3 times in the second half? See, that's why I can't give credit more credit, because I know what he gonna do. He won't get 20 carries a game. I'm gonna be shocked today that Ezekiel get 20 carries a game again. I'm gonna be shocked because I don't see it happening. Joe says the Eagles and 7 Minnesota right now. Oh, yeah, hey, whatever. Who cares about the Eagles? I care less about Minnesota. I could care less. That's why I usually have a lot of haters on here, Philly fans, and on the different pages, and also all that kind of stuff. I care less. I ain't watching that game. I peep at it once I get off here. I'm a Cowboy fan, exactly. I'm a Cowboy fan. I care less about anybody else. Tennessee, who they playing? Tennessee and Buffalo. I care less. And I stay in Tennessee. I'm in Memphis. They from Nashville. I care less. Of course, Joe said he hope Minnesota beat the Eagles. I agree. But if I'm not mistaken, they playing Philly in Philly. They're going to be extra hype. I believe it's their first home game. So they're going to be ready to play tonight. So I wouldn't be surprised if Philly beat Minnesota tonight. I wouldn't be surprised at all. All right, let's move to the Giants real quick for about 15 minutes or so. Then I'll open up the line. It's still Daniel Jones. So I'm not worried about that. The problem with the Giants is what it always have been, at least since he's been there, is making sure that you do not let Saquon Barkley get off. It's just that simple. If we don't let Saquon get off, we can handle the rest. I'm not worried about Tony, the receiver. I'm not worried about Galladay, the other receiver. I don't know who their tight end is. I forgot who it is. It's not Ingram anymore. But I'm not worried about them. The goal is to make sure Barkley does not get off. Daniel Jones will be Daniel Jones if that happens. Daniel Jones is going to get hit. Daniel Jones will throw you an interception. If you don't let him play action pass you to death with Saquon getting off, we got to hit Saquon. It's a simple game plan. Defensively, they're not great at all. They got that young kid. Mike Evans said, "Do you see the new Jalen Smith signed by who? Who he signed? The Giants. Oh, he played there last year. So somebody must have got hurt. We ain't worried about Jalen Smith. Not worried about Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith can't run side to side. That's what he gonna have to do. Jalen Smith can run downhill, and it is what it is. He'll be ready to play. But well, I don't fear. You know, they're not good. They're not great defensively. But we're not great offensively either. See what I'm saying? So, but we are at our best when we had a mentality to run the ball like we did starting off in the first half yesterday. That's what we have to do. We have to do it. If we don't do that, if he come out doing like he played the second half, we're not gonna win. Because you know it's gonna be crazy in New York. They 2-0. They think they really doing something. They think they really ready. The Giant fans are, so it's gonna be super crazy Sunday. Monday night. We're gonna be prime time on Monday night, and they gonna be fired up. It's gonna be crazy in New York that night. No doubt about that. And so we better be ready to play, because they will be emotional until we hit them in the mouth. Once we hit them in the mouth, that'll calm them on down. That'll calm them down. You got to hit them in the mouth. That's what's going to happen. So I believe the Giants, as I said before, I believe the Giants are going to use the second half game plan of the Bengals, because it shut Rush down. It did. It shut them down. So I believe that's what we're going to start off with the Giants on Monday night. They ain't going to wait till no half. They're going to go ahead and crank it up, try to shut it down, because I really just don't see the Cowboys capable of scoring 24 points. I don't see it. There's a defense score. If the defense scores, maybe, yeah. But offensively, I can't see. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as your defense is playing real good football. You don't have to score 21 points. You don't have to do that. You can just score 19, just as long as the defense hold it down. Now, here's what the problem is. Because the offense really ain't, they look better than they did against Tampa. But truth be told, they really ain't doing a whole lot. They just did more than what they did last week, which is good. But what it's forcing is the defense to have to be almost perfect. Because the defense can't afford a bad day. Our defense can't afford a bad day. If our defense have a bad day, we're going to get beat by 30. See, the offense can have a mediocre day and possibly still win. That's what it was yesterday. Not damaging, not great, but just okay. And we won. So you can be okay, but the defense just can't be okay. The defense actually have to be spectacular. You got to have 4, 5, 6 sacks a game, which we are very capable of. We're very capable of that. It's easy. But we can't afford a bad day. We can't afford a bad day on defense. Parsons had to be Parsons, and whoever else gonna get some sacks. Dante Fowler played a great game yesterday. I forgot to say that. Dante Fowler played a great game. Armstrong has to have the same type of game. These guys got to bring it every week. They can't afford a bad Sunday. They can't afford it because the offense is not that great. Finally, last thing about the game overall. Dak Prescott, don't make the mistake of trying to come back. I know you're trying to. I know you. I know you're gonna fake the funk. Talking about you can grip a football. But see, the challenge is going to be how Kellen Moore is gonna call a game when Dak Prescott is back. See what I'm saying? See, with rushing there, he knew he had to go and run the ball. I need this same energy when Dak come back. That don't mean you line up Dak 35, 50 times in the shotgun and he done threw the ball 43 times. No, sir. Keep this same energy. Next show, I'm going to bring it out. But when 2014 was here, Dak wasn't throwing for, when he winning all them games, Dak wasn't throwing for no 300 yards. Dak was throwing for all about 220, 230. Same way Cooper Rush did. Cooper Rush, 19 or 31, 235 yards. That's the way Dak was winning when he first came in. Because we ran the ball. I hope that when Dak come back, and I got a feeling it's going to be much sooner than later, because Dak is trying to get back and going to want to get me back in the saddle. Whether his thumb is right or not, he's going to try to come back. I sincerely hope that Kellen Moore does not go back to his old mindset, which he did last week, in the second half, and that is line it up, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. It's just like I said, I give him credit. It's better than what it was. Usually Zeke Elliott have 10 to 12 carries a game. Sunday it was 15. Okay, wow. Okay, that's a little progression. We getting there. It's better. Tony Pollard only had 3 carries. Well, he had 9 carries on this game. So hey, you got to crawl before you walk, I guess. You got to crawl before you walk. So I'm it's better. It's not really where I want it to be, but it's better. It's better. Hopefully they can continue on. If you ran the ball 28 times, I don't count Cooper Rush scramble, but you ran the ball 28 times, maybe we can finally get it to the magic number 30. Maybe. One other thing, why are we running Kevon Turpin as a motion and run him through the jet sweep all the time? He can do more than that. Why it always got to be a jet sweep with Turpin? Why it always got to be him in motion and in a jet sweep? He can do much more than that. Why is that all you running with him? Jet sweep. Why? I don't get that. But look, you got to crawl before you walk. So we let us crawl with what we got. We did good. We won. It's just bottom line. We won. All right. Phone line open. It's open right now. Y'all got it. It's open. Podbean is open. Phone line is open. It's right there. 901-654-6853. You go ahead and call in right now, and we will accept your phone call. Other than that, I'm done for the night. I'm tired, y'all. I had a very long day. I had a funeral today. It was all day long. I'm tired. And it is what it is. I know you guys were happy. It was a big win for us. It was a big win. A big win for Cooper Rush. Another night gaining some confidence. And he gained some more confidence. Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Call from
Coach Marv.
All right. Well. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Coach Marv has entered the building. And the crowd.
What's going on?
The crowd goes wild for Coach Marv. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, Big Show, man? Hey, man, good to have a victory, man.
Hey,
good to have a victory. Good to try to eke out a victory, a tough victory. Just don't want our fans to get too enamored in the building blocks of of this team. We still trying to figure out who we are really. I understand the defense has played fairly well. I think they played well. I think there's a lot of room for improvement with the defense. I think they're just coming into their own condition-wise. I know it's a lot to desire with their conditioning because of not playing too much in the preseason and basically us having a camp cupcake mentality. So that's why you've seen us a little fatigue, but we sucked it up to close out on that second possession to get that 3 and out to get the ball back to our offense. Yes, I would like them to see them running the ball a little bit more. If any of your fans out there watch me and Boss's live during the game, we were hitting all the measures that I put out there in the first half for the defense and the offense. And then the second half, time possession it was a key that we lost it big time in the second half. I think Tony Pollard got a couple of touches. He got over 10 touches in the game. He didn't get the touches I wanted him to get, between 16 and 18 touches. But I just think we just did a solid game. We still got some craziness in our coaching staff.
Coach,
even at the end of the game.
Coach, he turned right back into Kellen Moore the second half. Ezekiel Elliott had 12 carries at halftime. He only had 15.
Yeah.
He only had 15 for the whole game. He only ran the ball 3 times in the second half. He turned back into Kellen Moore. That's ridiculous.
But we only I think in the second half we only had 4 possessions of the football. I think 4, maybe 5 possessions of the football. So when it got to the point where they had the ball a lot, I think we were doing well to that fumble. I was liking that drive. Drive was going good. I think that would have been the clinching drive there.
Yeah, we were going for the throw.
That fumble. And I think that Dalton Schultz fumble put us in a bad, in a situation where they got the ball back. But again, the defense's key was, yes, we did get some hits on Joe Burrow, but yes, I said that before the beginning of this game was, if you shut down Cincinnati run game, you limit their offense. I don't care how great Joe Burrow is, if they cannot run the ball effectively, that makes Joe Burrow's job a harder job, because he's gonna get hit more regularly, because now guys don't have to worry about the run and they're coming straight for the passer. And the only reason we didn't get more sacks at the end of the game is because fatigue. You can see our players got a little fatigue, and we started, and we was really laboring at the end. And what really helped us is our depth. We had so much depth, even though we were tied at the depth positions as well. But it saved us. If we didn't have that depth, the floodgates would have opened up on them.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good thing. And I just wanted to point out at the end of the game, man, bad coaching decision by McCarthy. We almost didn't get this field goal off. I could have sworn we had a timeout. And I was like, okay, run the ball up the middle, put the ball where Hashy wants it, call timeout, kick the field goal.
Yeah.
But I didn't know we didn't have any timeouts, and then you run the football.
Well, then he let the time click down, too. He just let it
Well, you had no time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're trying to get listen. You run the football, here we go again. You run the football, anything happens, you don't even get the field goal off.
Exactly.
You could have threw a pass if you're going to do it that way.
See, that's that time management problem that everybody was talking about. And once again, the only thing they saved him was that Mayer made the kick that made him look good. But there would have been a lot of questions if he would have missed that kick.
Yeah, and see, here it is again, though. That is not on the offensive coordinator. That is not on the defensive coordinator. Yep. The time management thing is a strictly head coach's decision. He makes sure that the time management goes the way that he wants the time to go.
Exactly.
And those things are not delegated to somebody else to be the time manager. Because if I'm going to take all the blame, why should I give that portion to someone else? It just, to me, again, I mean, I know we don't want to pay. To me, it just look like, a guy that's not, that's afraid that he's going to be a company guy, and he's going to now he's going to let things go wrong before he corrects them, and he doesn't understand that's only going to make him look bad. But hopefully Kellen Moore is well, no. Let me stop. Let me say this again. Let me stop that. Listen, it's time to stop saying. Hopefully he learned it.
Yeah,
this is business.
Coach.
It don't take nobody 4 years when you had this much experience and you had this much. It's not like you've been apprentice. You have had the total control for 4 years, so you should have it down by now.
Oh, Coach, he is what he is.
If you ain't got it now,
no.
You don't know how to control a football game, control a tempo of a football game. Know when to change plays, when for people to make adjustments. I really do believe for what he does, he's better off in the booth.
Yeah.
He's better off in the booth.
I'm convinced, Coach. It's just not in him. It's not. It's just not.
I mean, it might not be in it. It might not be in it.
It's just not in him, Coach. He gonna throw the ball.
And he just got it. Yeah, he gonna throw the ball. But listen, he don't attack. When they say he's being aggressive, I don't see no aggressiveness in his passing game. His passing game is he wants to throw the ball
in intermediate throws. That's it.
And it's not even intermediate. Be sure. Let me ask you this question though. I want to ask you this: where was all our big plays at?
The big plays was outside the number with Noah Brown.
No, but most of his catches were big. Was in the middle.
In the middle of the field. Yeah, everything.
I've been saying that for the longest.
Yeah.
In the middle of the field, over 10 yards, between 10 and 20 yards down the field. I've been saying for the longest that area is going to be where it's going to be open for our quarterback. Early in the game, we did that with CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown, and then Kellen Moore went back to throwing the ball outside the numbers.
Yeah. And
people don't remember now. Cooper Rush threw 4 passes right in Cincinnati Bengals' hands. They should have intercepted.
Yeah.
4 passes.
They got their hands on it now.
And it wasn't there were 2 of them that they just literally dropped.
Yeah, they just dropped 2 of them. The other 2 was good plays, but that one they had to dive on, and the other one was kind of a little out of
the one he had to dive on, he missed. I don't know who he was throwing the ball. He missed his receiver by a mile.
Yeah, he threw behind.
I don't, but anyway,
on the other side of him. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is what we understand by Cooper Rush. You have to manage the game even more for him because you don't want to put him in situations where he has to do too much because if it ever blows, this is a good thing about Cooper Rush. He's playing with confidence, but not too much confidence where you want to put too much in his hand. But he's still playing with confidence because he hadn't had disaster yet.
Yeah.
So we don't know how he's going to feel when he does something disastrous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to bounce back from that?
Yeah.
So what you do is, like a child, you don't know if they're going to bounce back from it. So what you do is you try to keep him away from disaster.
Preventive stuff. Yeah.
That's right.
Preventive play calling.
You do everything. Yeah. You make sure and then what you do is you go to your players, you go to your team. And I like what the interviews of the Cowboys, a lot of them was talking about is a team victory. Yes, this was a team victory because special teams got a good return. Offense got some points. Defense did their job. So here it is. You have to have the sum of the parts that help you get through this time when you are down one of your better players. The sum of the parts have to pick up their play to be able to counteract. So you take the pressure off Cooper Rush so he don't feel like I got to go out here and win the game. And this is what I want the Cowboy fans to pump their brakes. I want them to say, man, it was a good victory by the Cowboys. Don't get caught up in this media thing for guys with media that are false Cowboy fans telling you about what Cooper Rush did so you can start pumping Cooper Rush up, because you already know we got some of the dumbest coaches in the history of offense, and they'll go out there and give Cooper Rush Dak Prescott playbook, and then they'll blow up in his face, and then he'll be no good for the rest of the season.
Exactly. You know what time,
man. Big Show.
We'll take it.
Yeah,
man.
Big Show.
Just win.
Yeah, so let's pump our brakes and say he did good for what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
We're not going to ask him to do too much more. We're going to rest this game into Zeke, CeeDee Lamb. I'm not worried about our offensive line. I think our offensive line is a good offensive line. Just don't worry about that, because this offensive line is a good offensive line.
Coach, you watched the film yet? Have you watched the film yet?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the offensive line. I watched the offense again last night.
Talk to me about real quick. Talk to me about Farnock. Incredibly impressive to me.
Farnock is a great run blocker. I mean, he is great at the next level. Man. He does have a couple of hiccups here and there with this maybe stepping the wrong way, but they're not physical errors. They just mental, maybe the technique. So we can live with the okay, I stepped on the wrong foot, he got by. But when he's engaged, when he does his technique right,
he's
very physical.
Yeah.
So I knew Farnock was playing well, and I think the Cowboys knew he was playing well. But again, Farnock is the same way I'm talking about with Cooper Rush. Yeah. You have to put him in a position where he's successful. You cannot put him in positions or in places where you're trying to get him to do too much one-on-one. You wanted him to be physical on guys. Farnock played well. Steele, when he's run blocking, Steele is in a whole nother world.
Yes, sir.
He's a whole nother monster.
A beast. Yes, sir.
And you don't even mention Tyler Smith over there. Tyler Smith had a little rougher game this time, but that's all about technique and about coming off the ball on time. Mm-hmm. But as when he does it technique wise, you don't have no problem. Mm-hmm. I do see, and I want people to understand, there is some slippage with Zach Martin.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. If you want to say on a scale of 1 to 10, well, one time he was a 9 or a 10. I would say he's a 7.5, 8 now. Mm-hmm. There is some times where he has a little slippage, but nothing that cannot work with. I think the whole offensive line now. Dalton Schultz had some plays that he got blown up in. Your Ferguson guy is a natural blocker.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be better off with Ferguson in there blocking. I don't know about him finding the routes that Dalton should run. I'm sure somebody can run those. But the offensive line blocking, I think where we did get some problems with our negative runs when they try to trap people and trying to get the lineman out of the trap. One, Schultz, then he got blown up, which made the trap block even harder. Another one with Tyler Smith made a wrong step, didn't do a good influence, and that made, if you don't influence the guy in the NFL, if they tell you to do a outside release so that you can turn the head of the guy so he can go with you, and now you come and trap him. Yeah. I think he did get off the ball, so that made the trap block even harder. I don't even know why we was running that play from the anyway, but like I said, because we don't have a run game coordinator, which is crazy when we talk about running the ball, but we don't even have a run game coordinator. So but the offensive line, I'll be breaking down the defense. The one I want when I look at the defense, I really want to look at the linebacker play. I was very impressed by Barr. A lot of people gonna be impressed by LVE. For what I saw, it's serviceable. It's okay. He just is not an aggressive type downhill type linebacker. I cannot understand why Cox is still being inactive for 2 games in a row. I really think if you get Cox in there with a coming on bar, we're gonna attack the run even better.
More speed.
Yeah, more speed. It's gonna enhance our defense. But I really want to see Cox, the position that Cox should be playing, without a doubt. The same thing he played when he was when he was at North Dakota State.
Safety.
And he played similar.
Safety.
The position that Curse plays, that's Cox's position.
Yeah.
He is a Curse. Yeah. To me, he would be a better Curse because he can cover better and he got more linebacker skills than Curse. I'm not saying Curse is bad, but Cox he's faster. You know he can cover better, and he got better linebacker skills because he's been a linebacker, so he already has that instinct. That's the position that he should be in. I think right now they're using Donovan Wilson more in that position, but Donovan's doing very well. He's very aggressive. So we just get so many players on defense that are interchangeable. So some people are going to be left out in the cold. They're not going to be able to play, but we never know what some injuries are going to happen, Big Show. So when we get some injuries, we mess around, may get some injuries, and then the right set of guys get in there, and they'll turn this thing up. But your show and a lot of other shows, Big Show, even though you may not think you got a lot of listeners, it's not about the volume, it's about who. And if you can get one key person that's listening to your show that can pass on the words that you've given, you can spark more change than somebody who has 10,000.
Oh yeah. Well, I get it all during the week. There's a lot of views that go on, so I know what time it is. But
that's right.
I really ain't worried about that at all. I appreciate you, Coach. Appreciate all the insight, man.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
I was riding in the car. I heard your show was on, so I was riding in the car. And I got you in the speed dial, so I called in just to talk to you, man. But appreciate the time, brother.
Appreciate you, Coach. All right. That was the one and only Coach Marv. We always come in and hang out. Phone line is open. Certainly, I'm quite sure you got a few things to say real quick. Come on in before I shut this thing down. Y'all come on in. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. Y'all see that comment on here? Most people don't. Maybe those on Podbean would not see it, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. And then maybe somebody may be riding in the car like Coach Marv was a few minutes ago. This is what Greg Davis said. He said, if the Cowboys win and make a deep run in the playoffs because of the defense, Dan Quinn is writing his own coaching ticket. Tony Romo said something yesterday that I just believe is 100% the truth. Tony Romo said, this is the guy that should be the next head coach in the NFL. First job that opened. And I believe that is the case, which is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that Dan Quinn will be our next head football coach. I don't believe McCarthy's going to make it out the year. I don't. I know he won yesterday. I just don't think he's going to make it out of this year, period. I don't think, even if he does make it to the end of the season, he'll be let go. And because the pressure that Dan Quinn will receive, Dan Quinn will get every opportunity next year to be a head coach like he had this year. It'll be even more because it's obvious now what folks already should have known about Dan Quinn is that he can turn defenses around. It's no question. He can do that, and teams will love that. He's been to a Super Bowl as a coordinator. He's been to the Super Bowl as a head coach. Not too many coaches got that resume. No, he didn't win. He let that big lead go to the Patriots, I think 28-3, and lost the Super Bowl, but he went. That's he was good enough to make it through the long season, carry his team through the playoffs, and make it to the Super Bowl. That counts for something. He won as a defensive coordinator of the Legion of Boom with Seattle. He won Super Bowl. I mean, come on now. So ain't too many people that got that on their resume. He is a player coach that people love. And Jerry Jones is not going to let that man get out the building. That's just my guess. A lot of y'all talking about Sean Payton. I'm telling you now, Dan Quinn costs less. He don't cost the drama. Let me see who this is.
Call from
Jay Ugger.
Oh, that's Cowboy. Cowboy Ugger in the house.
How you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to clap for my boy. There he is. Come on, talk to me, man.
And no need to rush, and Cooper we trust.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. You come in swinging. Wait a minute. Whoa. Let me, Wait a minute. In Cooper we trust. Oh, my goodness. Come on.
In Cooper we trust. And I ain't talking about Amari either.
Oh, wow. All right, you better defend that. You better defend that statement. Come on.
I saw that game, and I'm telling you, the same traits that I seen in Tony Romo, I seen some in him. I'm that release, pulling the trigger, staring down the barrel, not getting shaky. It was one throw, even the one when the ball was tipped. He seen the pressure coming, and he stood there and took it, and somehow he got it off. It was a couple of them throws he made that probably would have pat the ball on or folded up and not pulled the trigger on.
It's not.
I ain't saying that.
Don't do it, Cowboy. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I ain't saying he Kurt Warner, but I'm saying this. There was the same receiving core from last week, and that Brown boy looked like he was back at Ohio State.
Well, I got to push back on you on that one. I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead and push it back.
He didn't have the same commitment to the running game that Russ was afforded. See, when you run the ball like this, starting off, as soon as you hit that play action, somebody's going to be open. I mean, because you're too worried about the run now. That's the thing that Moore did not do with Dak. See, he sees Dak Prescott as a real weapon. And that ain't the way that Dak really needs to be playing. I'm not saying he's not capable of putting up 350, because he can. But that's not the way that this offense is designed. It really don't have nothing to do with that. To me, and this is just my opinion, to me, Cowboy, the difference is you let this offensive line go forward instead of backwards all the time. See, as long as they playing on their heels, backing up, pass rushing, it ain't going to work. But when you let them guys go and hit somebody and lay on them and keep laying on them, and keep laying. That's the reason why we were dominant in the first half, because we ran the ball like crazy. That's the way you're gonna win, and that's the same way. If you implement that same philosophy to when Dak plays, then you're gonna see it even better when Dak plays. That's my opinion.
Okay, I halfway agree with that. But how about this? I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
All right.
Now, we just say Cooper Rush lead us to 5-6-1 record while Dak is out. And we on the roll. Let's say we lose the next game to the Giants, and then we go on a 5-6 game winning streak. Dak ready. What we doing?
Well, you look at the schedule. See, the next two games is against the Giants and Washington. I think we got good chances in that game. Right after that, we're playing the Rams and Philly. So if you tell me that we lose to the Giants and then beat Washington, the Rams, and the Eagles on the road, that's a major league conversation. However, I don't want nobody even think, at least I'm saying, that Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush are close. Dak Prescott is way better than Cooper Rush. Now, I don't even want you to go there. This now, see, and I see where you're going because I don't see where you're going because, see, when Romo went down, Dak ran off. He ran off about 10 straight, and when it was time for the Romo to come back, the decision was made like, man, we too hot. We can't sit Dak down. But let's be truthful about that. Let's
just say Cooper Rush pick the pace up a little bit and start. We get in a mojo. We get, I don't know, who is Gallup gonna be back before that?
They were talking about Gallup. They were talking about Gallup. Talking about, man, it's a good possibility he might come back.
Let's say he come back and their chemistry is the same. Throw the ball down the sideline. Now we got a jump ball guy there because Cooper gonna let it go. One thing I like about him is he hadn't been intercepted yet, knock on wood, but he willing to throw the 50-50 balls. He willing to throw some balls that it just seems like the offense don't take shots on. Like I want to see him with a deep threat so we could just throw it.
I want to see this because really I want to see the same commitment to the running game like we started off yesterday with Dak Prescott on the center. Then let's talk. Cause see, that's the day we were running when Dak ran off them 10, 11 straight when Romo was down. Everybody want to give Dak the credit, but that really wasn't what the credit was. It was that dominant offensive line and a rookie, Zeke Elliott, just killing folks, running the ball. That's what it was.
Yeah, and they didn't have to.
What Dak Prescott had.
What else? It was the defense, too.
Well,
because they were giving us the ball.
Exactly.
It was giving us a short field. If you go back and look, they was giving us the ball at the 50-yard line. And, I mean,
not
you know what I'm saying?
Not only that, when you go back and look at the stats from 2014 and all the wins we had, Dak wasn't throwing for no 300 yards. Dak was throwing for 220 yards, 212 yards, and Ezekiel was destroying people. Ezekiel
was like 12 or 19.
Yeah, that's
21.
But they always want to get
25.
Yeah, but they want to give Dak the credit. It was that offensive line that was destroying people, same kind of way that it was in the first half with Cooper Rush. Let Kellen Moore, when Dak get back, I want to see Ezekiel with 12 carries in the first half like he had yesterday. That's what I want to see even with Dak there. Dak Prescott throwing for 350 yards is not the way for us to win. Dak Prescott throwing for 270 yards, something like that, 260 yards. That's winning football for us because they let us know we're running the ball. This offensive line is good. Coach Marv said it right just a few minutes ago. As long as them guys are going forward and hitting people and laying on them, that's when they're at their best. But if they got a pass block and they playing on their heels and let people come to them, we ain't gonna be good. You ain't making them tired. You ain't done enough. You ain't laying on them. You ain't hitting them. That's the other reason why we were looking good yesterday, because Cincinnati was tired in the first half. We were running. We were destroying them.
They're mauling on them.
Yeah,
it's different when you out there just running in pass drills the whole game.
Yeah, you can't be in shotgun the whole game. Give me a break. That's what Kellen Moore does. Kellen Moore ain't got no problem. It's not physical. They played physical yesterday. They played physical football yesterday. It was shocking. It's been a while since last year. Them 6 games won in a row. It's been a while, but they played physical yesterday. That's the reason why we won, because they started off.
We'll see how physical the Giants get.
Well, I believe, but see, that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is that you don't have Dak Prescott. You got Cooper Rush. A lot of people like his mechanics. They like how he throws in anticipation. I get all that. But with Cooper Rush, you got to calm down. You got to run the football now. That's all. That's the only difference. See, if Dak Prescott would have been there yesterday, it would have been 35 plus throws. Zeke Elliott would have had, what he got, 15? It would have been 12 again. Because he gets excited when he sees his quarterback back. But if you only have Cooper Rush, you gonna play balanced offense. That's what you gonna do. You gonna play balanced offense because Cooper Rush ain't got no business pretending like he Dak Prescott. It's just that simple. So I believe the injury forced Kellen Moore to change his offensive philosophy slightly. Now he turned back into Kellen Moore in the second half, but at least for that first half, which is strange for him.
I think a lot of his game plan early on in the game had a lot to do with Mike McCarthy's influence. You notice the formations.
Unfortunately, we'll really never know that. We heard about that, but that kind of stuff was done in the meetings. I heard some people say that, but on game days, Kellen Moore's the one that's going to get the credit because he's the one that's calling all the plays. So that's why I was saying.
He calling it.
You know what I'm saying? But what we don't.
But if you still getting, if you put more West Coast concepts in there,
yeah,
there's got to be Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, no question. It's
you get to seeing the West Coast concepts and that jumbo formation with those.
Yeah.
With McGovern back there in the backfield with the 2 foot, that's all Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
That's his staple all the way back from Green Bay.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Thank you for having me, man.
Man, I appreciate you always calling in, brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
That was Cowboy UGA in the building. It's all good, ladies and gentlemen. I like what I'm hearing. Who is this?
1706.
This is. Let's see who this is.
Call from
Gregory Davis.
The one and only. Well, I got all the superstars coming in. All the superstars coming in. Gregory Davis in the house. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Come on,
talk to me. Great game yesterday. Great game.
We won.
Great game. I listened to the last caller. If you won, a team win.
That's right.
A team win.
Yeah.
I wanted to, like I said on my post, Dan Quinn wrote the ticket.
Okay.
He don't wrote the ticket. I listened to the last caller. I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah. You know,
Cooper Rush, he's not a starter. He knows his role. He's a backup.
Yeah.
He's a backup. He knows this.
Yeah.
He'd have been a starter anyway. Like I was saying, Dan Quinn is writing his ticket. His ticket. He's writing his ticket. Players they're playing for him.
Well, to be honest with you, Greg, he turned down jobs last year. He could have been gone last year. He turned jobs down.
He should have been gone last
year. Yeah, he could have been gone last year. Yeah.
He wanted the Dallas job.
I think that he's going to get it too, because I believe that's why Jerry put all that pressure with all these expectations on, and then he took all the weapons away, knowing that they ain't gonna meet those expectations. And I really believe that he's going to go ahead and give it to Dan Quinn next year, because he's not gonna let him out the building. He know what he means. He know what he means to this team. And to be honest with you, and check it out though, what you don't want is, and you bringing up a great point when you said that. I'm glad you on. See, what you don't want is anything to stop Micah Parsons' progression. And the one that have built Micah Parsons is Dan Quinn. And so you don't want to take that. You don't want to take that away from Micah Parsons. And check this out. Micah Parsons got enough pull right now to go in and tell Jerry Jones, don't take this man away from me. Because if you do, in a couple more years, I'm going to leave Dallas. You see what I'm saying? Micah Parsons has that type of power right now, because he's really almost turned himself into the best player on the team right now.
He started the team. They were talking about Lawrence Taylor, like.
Yeah. So you don't want to look when you got players like that guy, that type of guy, you don't want to take them off at all, especially when they, he's a rookie. He's still on his rookie contract. Now you already know you're going to have to pay him out the bottom. Yeah.
Other players are feeding off of him too. You notice that?
Yes.
Wilson, all those boys, they're feeding off of him. They're feeding off him.
Yes.
He ain't pushing Tank.
Yeah. This guy.
He's pushing all of them.
Yeah.
All of them playing hard.
He's got the power right now.
Absolutely.
Right now to say, listen, whatever you do, don't take this man away from me. Don't you do that.
No.
Don't you do that, because if you do, I might have a problem with that. And when does somebody help me out in the chat box who's listening? When does Michael Parsons' contract come up? Is it 2 years from now or 1 year? Somebody put that in.
They can negotiate. They can extend him after on this third
year. He got the kind of power. He got the kind of power to talk now. You know what I'm saying?
Him and Dig. Hey, think about him and Dig, because Dig shut down Chase.
He did. He shut down. But Parsons is just
14 yards.
Parsons is just, he's a generational type dude.
Talent.
Don't guys like him don't come around but once every 25, 30 years. I mean, seriously. This dude is different. I mean, like, you can look at him and see Hall of Fame type talent. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He is going to cause problems. And the reason why he's where he is because of the scheming ability of Dan Quinn. And you will not take his coach away from him. And so that's why another reason why I say you're not going to take him away, because that is what make your best player go. You'll be a fool to take him away.
You'll lose some other players too.
Yeah, you're going to lose a whole lot of them. Yeah.
And you lose Diggs. Diggs, they had no quarterback like that since Deion.
No, but we never had nobody had that since Everson Walls. And who was the coordinator? Deion. It was Dan Quinn. See what I'm saying? So this is easy for me to say. Everybody thinks it's Sean Payton. It's not going to be Sean Payton. If it is somebody else, it's going to be Dan Quinn and Jerry Jones.
Dan Quinn remind you of Tom Landry. You remember Tom Landry was a defensive guy.
He was a defensive guy, but Tom Landry was not a players coach guy like this guy is.
No. He was no nonsense. That's what I think about Dan Quinn.
Yeah,
that's what I think about Dan Quinn. He bought that because remember he was the defensive coordinator for the Giants before he came to Dallas. He made that
Landry.
He had number talent on that defense.
Yeah, he
had to build offense.
Yeah, Quinn is a players coach. And it's obviously whatever his message is, it translates. It's all throughout the whole defense. He turned this defense totally around.
Everybody's playing.
And he got better. Yeah, he got some animals. He knows what type of players he needs. And really all he needs is and it shows he can get it. I believe Shanahan was his offensive coordinator in Atlanta, the one that's the 49ers coach. So it's not hard for him to find a guy that can be his offensive coordinator. There's plenty of them out there, and plenty of them will come with him.
He keep Mike McCarthy. Let Mike McCarthy call the play.
Oh, Mike McCarthy prior to be too hurt by then. So
if you want somebody, if you say I want Mike McCarthy, you'll get him. So Mike McCarthy ran the Packers offense for a while.
He did.
For a while.
He did, but he got too much pride. That ain't gonna happen.
I know. He ain't gonna happen. He got to.
But I don't think it would be Sean Payton like everybody talking about it.
No, I don't think it'll be Sean Payton. Sean Payton ain't going there.
The truth of the matter is the best choice, if it got to that point, I really believe that the best choice is Dan Quinn. It ain't even no question about it to me. And I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. Man, I appreciate you, Greg, man. Thank you, man.
All right.
Thank you so much for calling, man.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, there was Greg Davis, the one and only Greg Davis. As you can see, I kept his comment up because I think that's going to be worth talking about a little bit later on. I don't think it's nothing Dan Quinn, McCarthy can do other than raising the Super Bowl trophy. or at least get to the NFC Championship game. That's the only thing gonna save his job. Anything else, he gone. Even if they did make the playoff. If we get to the playoff and lose, he gone. I believe that. Because everybody going to want Dan Quinn. I can tell you that now. Every opening, Dan Quinn's name is going to be at the top of the list. And he turned down jobs last year. A coach want a coach. A head coach want to be a head coach. Don't want to just be a coordinator. Want to have his hand in every aspect of the game. And Dan Quinn, he's just a little bit too good to be just our defensive coordinator. That's just me. All right. Call-in line still open. Still got a little time. Y'all come on, holler at me if you want to. If not, like I said before, we will end this thing rather quickly. How about that? Get ready for the Giants, y'all. I might come on before I'll be with you, obviously, Saturday. I'm gonna study up on the Giants a little bit more, see what they talking about here, and I will get with you on Saturday with a little bit more in-depth conversation about the Giants. We turned the page from Cincinnati now. That's over with. We won the football game. We did what we were supposed. Well, we played the way. Let me say that. We played the way we were supposed to. We did. And we let the chips fall in May. And the defense showed up big time. They held them down long enough to get the job done, which is just a win. When your starting quarterback is out, you don't care how it looks. You just need to win. Because usually when your backup quarterback goes out, your starting quarterback goes out, I'm sorry. When your starting quarterback goes out, most people aren't betting on you to win. It's just like the next 4 games. I saw it on ESPN this morning. The Cowboys are not favored in any game the next four games. We're an underdog against the Giants. We're an underdog against Washington. We're an underdog against the Rams, obviously. We're an underdog against Philadelphia. Nobody's picking us to win. That's the result of having Dak Prescott. That's the way it is. So you're not, anytime you can get a win with your backup quarterback, then you count that as a bonus. That's just the way that it is. Cooper Rush is respectable. He's not trash by no means. He's not trash at all. He's not Dak Prescott. And you know, the more he wins, you're gonna get people that kind of sound like Cowboy at UGA. They're gonna start saying, hey now. Wait a minute now. Cooper Rush came in and won 3 games. Dak, he's hot. You don't want to put Dak in. That's the kind of narrative you're going to do. Please understand they're not going to sit Dak Prescott down. He's getting paid $40 million. They are not going to sit him down. I'll tell you that right now. Soon as he's able to grip the football, Cooper Rush is going back to the bench, and Dak Prescott is going to play. Y'all know that. So ain't no sense even entertaining that. Hope Cooper Rush does well. I hope he go undefeated. But just as soon as he finishes going undefeated, Dak Prescott coming in. Joe says that Jerry Jones said that Gallup will play against the New York Giants. He will play. Okay, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm not saying that's not the case, Joe. I just haven't seen it yet. I haven't looked at Cowboys the page yet today. I haven't seen it. Joe said Dak will be back to play the L.A. Rams. Well, that sounds about right. I mean, Dak going to be trying to play next week. You know, I hope they protect him from him. I can see that happening. I can see the Ram game. That's what, 2, let me see. Giants, Washington, That's 3 weeks away, if I'm not mistaken. 3 weeks away before the Ram game. That sounds about right for him to come back. That'll be what, 5 weeks? 5 weeks from the injury, from the surgery. It says between a 4 to 6 week, if I'm not mistaken, 4 to 6 week recovery time. That sounds about right. That sounds right. But he better be right. He better be right. He better be right before we put him back in. Not 60%. You know, I need him. I need him back. Yeah. Greg is with you, Joe. Greg is with you. He says Dak will be back. Probably for both the Rams and the Eagles game, both of them. I wouldn't be surprised. We all know Dak gonna look when Dak ready to play. Everybody know that. Dak ready to go. Dak don't want to sit down. I get it. And I understand that. Just as soon as he can grip it and take that beating, you know, getting under center and taking that beating on his thumb. See, that's the test. I told y'all that the last game. It's not when he in the shotgun. The question is when he get under center and he has to put his hands down there and take a snap, and that ball comes with a little force and hit him in his hand, which is right on his thumb as well. How much can he take? You know, that's the real question. I think the shotgun is easy, actually. But can he take what's going to happen when he get on the center? Can his thumb take that pressure for however many snaps that's going to be? You know, if you play football, you know the pocket that has to be developed with your hands under the centers behind. You know what you have to, how that position is. And that involves the thumb. So, you know, that's my only question. That's my only question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the Giants. Let's get ready for the Giants. Let's get ready for them. We done with the Bengals. You know, we done with them. We took care of them. With them cats in the cage. That's what we did. Hit Burrow like he wasn't, no respect. Just annihilating them. That's what we did. Daniel Jones is next. If I'm not mistaken, the Giants' offensive line is not that good. That's not good news for the Giants. If your offensive line is not good, one of the teams you do not want to see is the Dallas Cowboys. Not with this pass rush. If your offensive line is not good, your quarterback is going to get hit. Because they coming. And ain't nothing you can do about it. I really ain't just press the issue on people like Dante Fowler, who had a great game. I ain't pressed the issue, on Dorrance Armstrong, who had 2 sacks himself. I ain't talking about the inside, the way Bohanna played. He was good too. Osei. I ain't talking about that. Basham will be back before long. See what I'm saying? So it's some guys that are out that, this defense is only going to get better as people, come back. So, look, if your offensive line is struggling, once you see this pass rush that come at you, it's going to be a problem this year. I said at the beginning of the year, don't be surprised if the Cowboys lead the league in sacks this year. Now, that we may not be the number one defense, but we got a real good shot at being the number one defense lead the league in sacks. No doubt about that. I believe that. Jose Buffalo up 34 to Tennessee, and I'm looking at it now. I'm very happy because Stephon Diggs is on my fantasy team, and he has 12 receptions for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. Good Lord. Good God. This This is just the fourth. This is in the third quarter. Stephon Diggs got 12 catches for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I already know I won my fantasy game this week. Just the game was close. I already know I'm winning that. Hey, you got to look at the score. I got Stephon Diggs as my fantasy receiver. I'm excited about that. I care less about the game, though. All right, I'm done. Greg said, what'd you say, Greg? Greg said, this is just my theory. The Cowboys defense will finish in top 5 defense 2022. They really will finish top 3 if this cornerbacks crank up a little bit. I think they're going to be a top. I say they're going to be a top 8 defense this year, which is great. You got to have when you start talking about top 5 and up, all phases of the defense got to be right. Even though, you know what I'm saying, you really got to be right. They played well yesterday, in my view. Burrow only had 199 yards passing. So the big plays were not there. Chase only had, I believe, 5 catches for 54 yards. There's a reason why he only had that, because it was defense. It was double coverage. I think Quinn said that they doubled him up a couple of times, and you know, his biggest plays when he ran a little slant in the middle, he was coming from the slot. That was the biggest plays. When he was outside, he wasn't getting nothing. Trayvon locked him up. Brown actually did a good job on him as well. But Trayvon Diggs did a big time job. Excuse me, not Trayvon Diggs. It's Mr. Lord Have Mercy Diggs. That's his name, Mr. Lord Have Mercy Diggs. He shut him down. So, great game, great confidence game. We needed it bad. A win is a win. We'll take it. Now let's get ready to go to the Giants. It's gonna be a big game Monday night. Big game. Big game. We don't want the Giants to go 3-0 for sure. And we need to bring them down a notch. If we win, we'll be tied with them. We'll both be 2-1. I don't have to tell you this important game. Hope that Kellen Moore played, become even more dedicated to the running game this week. I believe we can run on them. We can do it. We just got to stop Saquon Barkley. That's the bottom line. Stop him. Daniel Jones will throw picks. Daniel Jones will not see the field well. You got to hit him. That's just the bottom line. All right. Appreciate y'all hanging with me tonight. Y'all see all the ways you can support the podcast below on the ticker. If you're on Podbean, all you have to do is hit that red reward bag, and it asks you what you can do monthly to support the podcast. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $20 a month. Hey, I don't never shut down my blessings. Somebody might want to, really support the podcast. So it's right there for you. All you have to do is press and follow those directions. Again, y'all see it, all the ways you can support the podcast right here. You can do it as well. If you want to become a monthly subscriber, there it is, the Big Time Show 3.supercast.com. Once you put that in, you also can have a couple questions that you have to answer, and you can submit however much money you want to put in to support the podcast. $1, $2, $3. Again, it could be 20. Who knows? You might want to do that. I don't know. You don't have to. I mean, I don't know, but you just never know. You'll never know who might start, support you. You just never know. It is what it is. If not, appreciate your ear. Appreciate you listening to me. Thank you so much for doing it. It's time to get out of here now. I'm tired. I got to go to bed. Who was that? Joe said Buffalo 41-7. So Buffalo is trying to send a real statement this year. They the best team in the whole NFL, and so far They may be proving it. Who knows? But we ain't got to worry about that till we get to the Super Bowl. So they're not on the schedule this year. Greg said the Cowboys' next 2 games are NFC East opponents. I believe starting with the Giants, Diggs will get his first interception in 2022, and it will be contagious. I hope so. We just need to win. That's just the bottom line. Just win. That's all we need to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Everybody knows what to do to get out of here. Everybody needs to put them hand emojis together as if you're clapping your hands. And you already know what that means when I say clap your hands, because you know what you're getting ready to hear. You know how we do it. We groove our way out of here. That's the way we do it. Every Monday, every Saturday, we do it the same way. And I believe that it's a good day to really clap your hands pretty good with some extra pop, because the Cowboys put it on the Bengals, and we got a reason to celebrate. So, hey, before we get to the Giants, we're going to celebrate this win one last time together for those that are here. Go ahead and put your hands together now. Right now. I need to see somebody over here I see it on Podbean. I don't see nobody right here putting your hands together. I don't see nobody. Whoever that is over here, put them clap emojis up. I'm waiting on y'all. Somebody. Act like you know what's coming. You know what music for the hit this airwave. You know what's for to happen. There it is, bro, Joe. I can go on lead you now. I'm gone. Joe helped me out here. Thank you, Joe, from Italy. I had to solicit some help from out the country to get somebody to clap their hands. Come on, let's celebrate out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all so much. This is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, not that one. There it is. This is the Big Time Show.